Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel and your toys. And yeah, no intro or the ugly mugshot. Yeah, you don't really have to see my face for this video since we're just gonna talk about a small figure anyway. Bet you guys already know what this is, right? Yep, it's an acrylic keychain. Megumin. Well, sorry, I just take one at random, whatever I can find near my work desk. Well, she's Megumin, she's from Konosuba as we know it, but this is an example of what we call as a acrylic keychain. So yeah, this collectible is quite a big deal in Japan. It's very collectible. Some of them can fetch up for very high prices if you ask me. These are like the one of the two major keychain, or we call it a strap in Japan. Usually there's a strap and there's also a keychain like this one. It's one of the two most common model. The one that's made out of acrylic or plastic like this one, and the other one is the rubberized version. I don't really have much of the rubber keychain since I'm not really collecting them, but yeah, I think I should go to my display case, but yeah, it takes times, yeah. But then again, well, what we're going to talk about today is not really that keychain, but more likely, bam! Yep, this acrylic figure. Yeah, it's kind of weird for us to talk about this kind of a, well, acrylic stand type of a figure, but I remember back in 2016, 17, 18, when I'm still living in Japan, I was there for studying, right? So, well, as you can imagine, I don't really have much money to burn on hobbies or stuff like that. Yeah, I just get some, I don't know, those kind of a freelance type of job, research, consulting, those kind of stuff. So I don't really have much money for hobby. Then one day I go to a shop and realize, hey, you know what? They have this kind of a figure called as acrylic figure, and I'm thinking like, how bad can they be? They're gonna be cheap, right? So I went to one of the store and was quite surprised. Some of the acrylic figure there, it was priced around, well, around a 2,000 yen, 3,000 yen, 5,000 yen. It's like a 20, 30 bucks, 50 bucks, and so it's quite surprised me back then. Well, I just go back to my standard. You can actually get a full-size figure, toys, model. Again, back then I would just grab a trading figure, gashapon, or even sometimes you can get the second-hand SHF, Nendoroid for that kind of a price. So it was quite surprising for me. I actually met some of enthusiasts for this kind of a figure. They call it as a acrylic figure, and their community is quite big. Yeah, I saw some of the collectors. They're actually collecting so many acrylic figures. I'm quite impressed with that. But then again, I was asking them regarding why do you actually collect this kind of figure. Well, the first time they always mentioned to me, they said that the reason they buy this acrylic figure because they're more true to that 2D illustration that they're expecting. So as you can see it here, it's quite good. Yeah, I mean, sometimes this kind of detail, it cannot be done on the 3D model of just regular toys, or even some acrylic figures that actually have those kind of a background, some illustration, I don't know, some anything that based from the original artwork, they can just put it there as is. So it's quite awesome if you ask me. Well, second, they also mentioned to me they have more options of the character. So as you can see it here, the only reason I get this Rei Ayanami on her FILA attire because I cannot find a toys or a 3D model for these illustrations, obviously. I remember when I read that Evangelion Millennials too. It was the first time I see the illustrations on the magazine exactly on this page. So the bunch looks awesome on FILA attire. I love them. And yeah, the third reason they mentioned to me, they always say that, well, it's easier to be stored. Well, I have a cons for that one, but then again, I have to agree. I mean, this one is, as you can see, this is just like, see, this is like a 2D, like, see, even if I put it here, it's almost gone from the camera. So it's like, it's very thin, it's very small. Some people, especially Japanese, they love them because they don't really take up much space when they collect this. But then again, I do have several cons, but these cons are mostly my opinion. Yeah, so the first thing that I noticed, I don't know, this is just me though, but it might also be happening for the other people. For me, it's very hard to display. If I'm using this kind of a white background, you can clearly see the figure. but most of my showcase, most of my display cabinets are actually either black colored, or it's actually wooden colored, or just the regular detov. So it means like everything's made from glass and you can see my wall. That on that kind of a scenario, I don't know, when I put I have several more of this kind of a, I don't know, acrylic figure, but they don't really display well. Sometimes it's very hard for me to see, oh, you know what, when I actually display them on my black colored cabinet, I cannot see them clearly, honestly speaking. One of my bookcase, they have that kind of a glossy polish white colored, and just like this one, then these acrylic figures really pop up. Second one, when they also mentioned to me, you know what, this figure is usually more durable. I don't think so. I mean, come on, just look at this. Literally, are just see, I don't really like that sound, but yeah, I just want to show you. So it's like a two pieces model. This one is the stand and this one is the figure. Usually this kind of a part, I don't know where you can make it. You can see it when I put it on my hand. This is the pack where you put it on the stand base. See, kind of hard for me. When I go to the second-hand store, when I see a little bit of more beaten up second-hand type of product for this acrylic figure, the cheaper one is like 1,000 yen or just $10. Most of the time they have a chip on that pack, so I don't really sure whether they're actually more durable. And sometimes, some other times, I also find a lot of them are actually having a scratch on this printed part. So well, it's kind of bummer, especially since the only things that you get from this figure is actually that magnificent print. Although I have to agree, the made in Japan version, or like this Japanese version, they got a very beautiful print on them. And third one, the price, just like the video is all about. Well, for me, these kind of figures are actually quite pricey, even compared to just a regular figure. I mean, you can get a Rei Ayanami trading figure, you can actually get a price item near 35 to 50 bucks, obviously. And I saw this model, one, I don't know, I also pop up in eBay. They actually sell it for like almost 50 bucks. So wow, it's quite an expensive price. And a full set, I also saw it on eBay. They pop up for around $200 for the whole 5 characters on this lineup. So I don't know, for a piece of plastic, I mean a very see, you can see it here, something that you print on a plastic to fetch up to 200 bucks is quite pricey if you ask me. Alright, I think that's all for this video. So when you ask me, so is it really worth it or not, I don't know how to answer you, but I think the first thing I would say, well, it depends on whether you really like this illustration, specific illustration, or the character, especially when they don't make any other versions of that artwork. Yeah, let's say for me, I also collect that. I also got that Chainsaw Man Rizzy, the Rizzy acrylic figure, just because I haven't got any 3D model or toys or figure for that character, and I love Rizzy. Just an example. Alright, so I don't really know whether they're worth it or not. They actually, well, one thing for sure, I can assure you, they're pricey. They're not really an option, a cheaper option compared to the figure. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and we'll be seeing you again on the next video. See you around, guys. Peace out.